Welcome back to Hamza's Advocacy. It's going on December 31st. It is New Year's Eve, actually. So it's almost been 2 months since I made a video. This wasn't not intentional. I remember my last one was about an hour, or maybe more. And I have been extremely busy since then. After my last video, I took off and went to Chicago. I went there for Young Invincibles as an advocate for Illinois Community College Board. I went there for a leadership retreat, and I just trained for the weekend there. Then I had my court date, November 5th, 2025. Yeah, November 5th. And really, I've been meaning to come back on here and explain how all that went. It was very unexpected. I went there in my suit, I had my tie, my nice bag, went in there looking like one of them, doing what I gotta do to do what I want to do, essentially. Anyways, court was interesting. I'm starting up some tea. Because I went in there not really knowing what would happen based on the motion to dismiss that I talked to everybody about. I talked about the procedural methods that took place leading up to the event. I explained the judicial canons, the rules of evidence, the rules of civil procedure. I have numerous videos that went over all these different things. I even went through a video, and I believe that was my last one. I talked about my counter arguments to the defense's response, and basically an opposition in response to the motion to dismiss. So when I went to court anyway, I experienced a really good time. I met a couple of the state's attorneys. These state's attorneys were really nice, and we talked about a couple things. So that helped me out, like, before I went in front of the magistrate. When I went in front of the magistrate, I went ahead. Well, I got there early. I prepared myself. I had stuff laid out all across the table. I had my evidence binder. I had all my counter arguments ready to go. Everything in hand. The judge went ahead. We talked about the fact that we couldn't get one of Danielle Fravel. We talked about her. I already said I don't care to not mention these people's names. I don't have a non-disclosure agreement, which if I do get a non-disclosure agreement, it might kind of mess with everything I've done here the last 13 videos, I believe. Anyways, I did not get Danielle Fravel served, so the court does not have jurisdiction over her. That caused a problem. They were not aware that I summoned her, and then I did 2 alias summons, and none of those went through, of course. I'm going to go ahead and do a third one, I believe, because I did file I filed a motion for alternative service. I have yet to hear anything back from the judge today, within the last few weeks. So I'm going to file that alternative summons, alias summons. It'll be a third alias summons, and I guess I'll just do it to the same place that she gave me the card to. It was interesting because, anyways, I showed the judge the business card that Danielle Fravel gave me at the time that her and I corresponded about the matter that was between myself and the front office. So she saw firsthand that I put forth my due diligence, and I did what I was supposed to do, and she respected that. I showed utmost courtesy and respect to the courts. I not only was dressed appropriately, I also spoke appropriately. I had everything written down, printed out, laminated. I read everything. The defense attorney who spoke first. They tried to attack me, telling me that everything that I was doing was based on emotions and so on. The fact of the matter is that I created presumptions based on 301 civil rules of evidence or civil rules of procedure. I created presumptions. So they did not go ahead and rebuke these presumptions in which I created. And so I went ahead, ignored everything. I read my counter argument, the same one I read in my last video with everybody. And the judge went ahead and granted the motion to dismiss. Even so, the judge says you were well prepared, and it seems like you did a lot of research. You came here very knowledgeable. So what we're going to do is grant this motion to dismiss. However, we will go ahead and do a continuance. She said, I want you to go ahead and get together. Oh, the other thing that was wrong was the fact that I filed this motion. And with this motion, when I went to the circuit clerk's office, she said, you cannot file this evidence. You cannot admit these exhibits into the public file yet. You have to admit this evidence when you go into the hearing or when you go into trial. I knew that was a misnomer, but I went with it, and it got me in a situation in the courtroom. I explained it to the judge. She said there was just miscommunication. Obviously, it was okay because the judge understood it. She said, go ahead and provide the evidence to back the counter arguments which you have presumed in the complaint. And so now I spent the last month or so doing that. I went through all my evidence. I organized everything, created new exhibits, and I filed, it was like 157 pages. I mean, I filed my lease, my prior lease, my current lease, so on. I even collected, I went around and got signatures, and it was I'm not going to pull it out, honestly. I'm going to make a short video today, but it was a petition basically saying this is what we have experienced here at this property, and we attest to these, to what this document, what this paper says, what this petition says. And then my fiance also, she attested to what she has experienced. So we got an affidavit with her, along with my 15-year-old. Yeah, 15. Sorry about that, Lando. But we got a affidavit of truth from him stating that he was a witness to the incidents at the office. And so I found all this different stuff. And here, I'll make another video going over it. I just want to get a video going today and get back in motion with things because everything's been crazy. Not in a bad way. Crazy busy, crazy moving forward, and so on. I mean, I got a lot going on, and I plan on talking about some of it today with you all. Anyways, I went ahead and I drafted a new complaint. With that complaint, I put the 157 pieces of paper with it to back every one of them, and then I created a roadmap for that complaint, and the complaint itself, and then I filed evidence that maps to each of the complaints within the complaint itself. If that makes sense. So, got me some tea here. I love my tea. Tea and honey. So, anyway, I went ahead and filed this new complaint with all that evidence, and then they filed a second motion to dismiss, which was again expected. And it seemed that they were very angry, honestly. It seemed like they were, how do I put it? It seemed like they were over the matter. They were very stern in their response, which is fine, because my complaint was in all capital letters and so on. I don't know why I did that, but I did. I put everything in capital letters, and I did it. Maybe that was bad because capital letters makes it seem like you're shouting at another person. So it don't matter. I'm just having fun with this anymore. I pray that something comes out of this, and I'm certain something will come out of this, especially since something happened that never really happens with a pro se litigant, and that's the fact that the motion to dismiss was granted. However, she went ahead and said, I will give you a continuance. We'll grant this motion today, but we'll give you a continuance. So now, in response to that second motion to dismiss, I wrote a second opposition of response to the motion to dismiss. And I refuted their claims. Because basically they so you got to provide facts to go ahead and rebut somebody's presumptions. They didn't provide facts to rebut my presumptions on either of my claims. I really don't know where it's going to go. But, well, actually, if it doesn't go anywhere in this court, that's fine, because it will go somewhere when it gets to the appellate court. It'll be the 5th District Appellate Court. And so when it gets to the 5th District Appellate Court, then it's going to have to come right back from Marion County Courthouse. And the judges, they don't like it when something, because it makes them look incompetent. And then now that higher judges look at their ruling and they go ahead and write a brief based on their ruling, and they send it back to them and tell them, like, hey, you got to redo this. And even then, if it doesn't get picked up by the 5th District Appellate Court, I'll go ahead and keep taking it up the chain of command. That's what my goal is. Just keep on going. Just keep going. And I'll run this the next 10 years. I will. I got nothing but time. I'm doing time right now. I'm doing time at the community college. I'm in training. I will continue to study. And one thing that these people will learn is that I am relentless. I'm not giving up. And I've said that in one of my other videos. Even when I lose, I still win. I'm winning right now. I'm enjoying this. They're upset. They're annoyed. They think that I'm just some wannabe lawyer, whatever it may be. I kind of am a wannabe lawyer. But at the same time, I'm not a wannabe lawyer, because I don't want to be a lawyer. I just want to stand for common causes, which is why I study what I study now. I may go to law school. I'm not sure. I'm interested in it. I am interested in my Juris Doctor degree. I, however, am going to focus primarily on my sociology degree, because the whole reason I started all this was because, well, I was interested in herbalism. I'm an herbalist. I have a family herbalist certificate. I'm going to get a nutritional herbalist certificate, and then I'm going to move on to my master herbalist certificate sooner than later. That was the whole reason I got into litigation, as well as with my son, my first son. I had some legal troubles there, but I also had to take responsibility for myself with that. Anyways, I won't get into that drama. I will stay on topic about the fact that right now, what my primary focus is sociology, and I'm going to go into medical sociology. So when I get into sociology, I will be able to help. I enjoy being an herbalist. I enjoy clients. I enjoy helping people, and I debated back and forth between psychology and sociology for a very long time. However, I have settled with the mindset with jumping into medical sociology, because then now I can go ahead. There's numerous of people that I have supported my journey. Indirectly, of course, this is, but Dr. Christopher's School of Natural Healing, Yaki's, what does he call this place? Yaki Hickman is what I'm going to say. That's his name. And then there was Sage Popham with the School of Evolutionary Herbalism. I would like to take his course as well, and to get his certificate. I've taken some of his things, and I've read a lot of his material, watched lots of his videos. And so, I mean, I've done hundreds of hours of studying over the last 12 years regarding herbalism. I understand the anatomical functions of the human body, both at a micro and macro level. I can sit here and go through exactly what people call it disease, but this is a term that was coined by Yaki, which is the same word as disease. It just puts a hyphen in between dis and ease. You have a dis-ease in the body. And I know we're going far away from legal precedent that we're talking about and legal cases and complaints and whatever. But I do want to steer in this other direction for a little bit. I think I'm going to start creating videos for herbalism. I think it would be nice to have a diversity of practices and beliefs, because I do many things. I'm interested in many things. And so I think it'd be very fascinating to have multiple playlists of, I got my case here, I have my herbal videos here, I have my sociology studies here, I have my psychology studies here, I have my philosophical videos here, and I just keep going with things that way. I like that idea. And so, yeah, medical sociology, and then instead of helping, psychology is helping the individual. Sociology is helping the collective of individuals. So this will go ahead. I can start working towards reforming laws around herbalism, where it is frowned upon, and it should not be frowned upon, because herbalism, not in my belief, in my knowing, can help people with all of these psychological issues. I mean, health issues cause psychological issues, cancer and tumors and so on, can cause mental health issues, which is anxiety, depression, and so on. I mean, it just keeps on going. If we want to fix the mind, that's the problem I have with psychology. Psychology is the study of the mind. Now, this is why I want to create a new branch of psychology. That is my biggest goal right now, is to work towards creating a new branch. I don't want to, I'm not putting my name out there. I'm not putting it out there what I'm going to call this new field of study. But basically, it's about taking into practice the mind, body, and spirit. Not only the mind, body, and spirit, but we need to start looking at the energetics of the mind, body, and spirit, and how to bring everything back to being one, to being whole. And in doing so, we have to go ahead and we have to align everything divided to conquer. So we have to align all these different studies, the cardiovascular system. We have to align that with the mind. The heart has to come back to the mind. The mind has to come back to the heart. The heart and mind have to come back to the gut. The gut is its own brain. It's the first brain. It has many, if not almost more neurons than the brain itself has. All the brain is just a big chunk of fat that sits in this protected, bone, protected layers of bone called the skull, the cranium. And so the brain is it's just cholesterol, fat. That's all it is. But the heart as well has as many neurons as the gut and the brain. Your heart's a brain, the mind's a brain, and the gut is a brain. If you think about it, everything goes to the gut first. So we got to fix the gut to fix the mind. We got to fix the mind to fix the heart. Okay? Or it can be done another way. You can fix the gut. The gut comes first. That's as simple as that. And that's the thing you learn in embryology. In the embryology, it's very clear that the first thing that comes about from a fetus is the primitive gut tube. And from the primitive gut tube, the central nervous system develops. It's like a flower. It roots up and blossoms into the cerebral cortex and every other lobe that we will distinguish and call the brain. Okay? So it's interesting. And besides herbalism, besides all of this, other things that have been going on is that I don't have any interest of being a politician because I don't want power. I don't want power over other people. But if that position is given to me, then I must be trusted by a higher power to go ahead and utilize that power in an honest and humble way. What I'm getting to is that I've been ever since I came back from my last video, I've been meeting with politicians from senates and representatives and congressmen, possible runners for Congress. I've been getting involved with local law, local customs, and city council meetings. I want to go ahead and help. I believe to do what I want to do with sociology, I need to understand how everybody thinks. And that's why I said I'm not interested in Republicans or Democrats. I'm not interested in liberals or conservatives. It doesn't mean I don't want to hear what these groups have to say. It just means I'm not interested in labeling myself as one of them. I am Leo, and I plan to stay neutral. I want to stay in the middle. I want to stay nonpartisan. If you want to go ahead and give me a title, I don't care what side you are. I just know that the left and the right have gone far away from what the original purpose was, and that is the people. But a lot of individuals I have met lately, I met a Republican, and then I have met a Democrat. Well, lots of Democrats lately. And I like the way that these Democrats are looking at things, and I can see the perspectives and why things need to possibly become more Democratic than Republican, but at the same time, I don't agree. I think there needs to be a balance between Democrats and Republicans. I can understand why they think they want what they want. It doesn't mean I agree with it. Even so, there's another Republican. He has also said that today in this world, and I was told this, that there are Republicans, there's Democrats, and then you have MAGA. MAGA may say that they're Republicans, but really they're basically becoming their own political party. And that, I thought about that, and I was like, that resonates, and I can see where you're coming from with that. Excuse me. And that was the Republican here in Illinois. His name is Brandon Schweizer. Really smart guy, really cool guy. He did not tell me that directly, but a friend of mine, he talked to him. But I also met Brandon Schweizer at a Turning Point USA convention that came to Danville Area Community College. A lot of people were disappointed that Turning Point came there. I guess I understand slightly, but it just is what it is, and allow people to make their own decisions. I, of course, was a part of that whole show, I guess you could say. It doesn't seem like it's going to stick around at the school, but again, I'm there to go ahead and see why people are against it, why people are for it. What is the purpose of this whole convention? Why is it here? I'm also a part of the Student Democrats of DAC. And the Student Democrats of DAC doesn't mean, like I tell everybody, I'm not here trying to recruit you to be a Democrat. I'm here to recruit you to go ahead and help, to give you a decision, to allow you to have a decision to make a difference in our community. I'm not here as a Democrat. I'm not here as a political member. I am here because I feel like this is an opportunity that I can go ahead and put my hand out there in society and to give whatever it is that may be needed. And in the case of Danville, we have a homeless issue. So what I had done with others was we put together an event and we collected clothing for the homeless. We collected socks and shirts and pants, and I believe I gave a pair of shoes, actually. They didn't want shoes, but I gave a pair of shoes because I didn't need them. So somebody take them, use them. Hopefully don't throw them out. But I think that this was a good opportunity to go ahead and to reiterate what I stand for. Because at these donations, it wasn't about, we didn't have signs saying that be a Democrat today, or we weren't trying to recruit you to be a Democrat. We were just trying to get you to be a good human being. And that's what a Democrat should be. And that's what a Republican should be. And what is the definition of a good human being? Well, a good human being is somebody that is willing to give more than they're willing to take, in my professional opinion. Give more. And don't do it because you're expecting something back. Give more because you want to help people. There's so many people in this world that just want to take, or they want to give because they know that they're going to be blessed by the Most High, or they might be able to have a tax write off and so on. Well, that's wrong. That's genuinely and wrong, and honestly, it's dishonorable. It is. It's just do as you should. Take care of each other. We are brothers and sisters of this world. And we have a duty, a responsibility to stand up for one another and to hold each other up high. So that's my spew about that. And I'm trying to think of anything else that's been going on that I've been busy with. I mean, I've been busy with everything. ICCB, PTK. Phi Theta Kappa Honor Society. I was made president of Phi Theta Kappa Honor Society. In so doing, I was honorably asked to speak at the Danville Correctional Center. We have an educational department at the Danville Correctional Center where teachers come from the school and they go to there to educate those inmates. So it is a literal rehabilitation center, as all jails and prisons should be. Well, a lot of these students are not a lot of them, I mean all of those people that are very intelligent, the most intelligent people are the most troubled people. It's just the truth of the matter. So these people are very intelligent, very creative. Creativity shows true intelligence, honestly. Like, the artwork I saw there was unlike anything I've ever seen at DAC. It was like unlike anything I've seen anywhere. It was beautiful. I felt really emotional when I was there with these guys, but not in a sympathetic way, nor in an empathetic way. I felt emotional because it was amazing. It was amazing how kind they were and how humble they were. And they were willing to admit their faults and to be honest with their faults. And I was emotional because of how true they were, how much of themselves they were. They were their true selves, willing to share their true selves with another person from the outside. I was able to relate to a lot of them, and it was wonderful because I too struggled with alcohol and drugs and all these other things. I was very troubled, as I've talked about before. And, I went there dressed. I went and got a beautiful suit, a blue suit. I knew I was going to be the only one dressed that way. I really did. I didn't do that because I was arrogant. I did that because I wanted to go there and show these people, like, keep working hard. Keep thriving and striving for greater opportunities will befall before you. And when you get out of here, you too can have this same suit that I have on my back. Hell, I'll give you this suit that's on my back. I'll give it to you just for doing exactly what you said you was going to do. Now come out here into the real world and be a viable member of society. So anyways, PTK had an induction. We inducted 21 inmates into Phi Theta Kappa for the first time ever. PTK has never done anything like this. So now we have inmates out at Danville Correctional Center who are actually members of Phi Theta Kappa. And this means that once you are inducted into Phi Theta Kappa, you're a lifetime member of PTK. Okay? And there's a lot of things to go with that. Scholarships and endless opportunities to become a better person. Leadership skills, leadership development skills. I mean, Phi Theta Kappa is what led me into the Illinois Community College Board, in which now I will be speaking in front of the state representatives coming next March, I believe, or April maybe, whatever it may be. I'll be going and speaking to them about fundings for the schools and all this good stuff. I look forward to this. But Phi Theta Kappa is a wonderful opportunity to become the best version of yourself. And so it was so emotional because I saw them. It wasn't what they said. I saw their actions. Their body language showed what they're striving to be. And I saw that, how much this touched their heart. So for the first time I didn't write it. I was given a speech, and I rewrote it essentially based on. I rewrote it to fit the scene of the system that and where they were. I wanted to feel like it was to them, because it was to them. It was to them and for them, directly to them and directly for them. And so it was just a great time. I got to meet these people, got to become a part of a little small group of individuals that are very intelligent. I got carried away in life, lost touch of reality maybe, and are now just kind of patiently and humbly paying their time back. And so, yeah, so that's another thing. So they've been inducted, and they're now part of PTK, as I've said. And my goal is to go back out, and I would like to visit them. I would like to go see them, and I think it'd be cool to write about them, honestly. I'm at about 30 minutes now. I can talk for a while because I got a lot going on. But I'm gonna get back to writing. Here soon I'm gonna publish my book. Be prepared for Silas. It'll be coming out very soon. I am excited for this book. This is gonna be the most incredible piece of work I've been talking about for so long. Not on my videos, but I've been talking about this book for a decade now, almost. I thought it out. I typed it out. I lost the document. Now I'm retyping it. I'm on Christmas break right now. Winter break, I should say. Christmas is over, and I had, from December 12th to January 12th, I had freedom for the first time in so long to do as I please. Still had to be a parent, though, so I couldn't do everything I want, but I enjoyed being a parent. There's nothing like being a parent. Kids teach you how to be. They teach you how to just be free. When you watch a kid, they're careless because they have nothing to worry about. They teach you how to just let go and just be in the moment. Play, have fun, live, laugh, love, forgive. So, thank you all again for watching. This is Hamza's Advocacy. I will see you around. Peace out and stay blessed.